Hello, and welcome to Woman Empowered Wednesday. I am your host, Angela A. Love Lewis, and I have a phenomenal guest because this is my sister. Now, we're not blood sisters, but baby, listen, when I say sister for real, this is my sister for real. So let me start off by saying, first and foremost, welcome to Woman Empowered Wednesday. We are starting back up. This is a new month, the month of August, the month of new beginnings, and I'm just super excited to wrap this back up. I've got a great hot lineup of people this month to come in and empower us. You hear me? So I want you all to make sure now, share the broadcast, tell somebody else that we're on here. Go in and let everybody know. Tawanda, hey, beautiful, how are you? And if you can't catch it live, then of course catch the replay and just make sure you let us know, because when I tell you my guest, Coach Illy, if you don't know, you're about to know that when she brings it, baby, she brings it from the whole queendom. You hear me? Because it's just like that. And so I will first and foremost want to give a shout out to Michelle Clark. Michelle was supposed to be the guest today and had some things going on and was unable to make it. And so just keep her lifted in prayer. And as soon as things, get back in line, then I will have her back on as a guest. But in the meantime, my sister decided, I reached out and she was like, yes. And so you always need to keep some people in your life who can be there for you when you need it. And I already know it's getting ready to be an amazing conversation. So, Coach Illy, how are you?
Hi, A-Love. Hey, A-Love. Hi, everyone in the Women Empowered community. We are here as women, as queens, and I'm definitely excited to be here today.
Yes. I am really excited because we'll jump into some things. Because I was telling Illy before, just coming in and talking about empowerment and what that space looks like. But Illy is minister charge. She's out here, an entrepreneur, a business owner. She's a coach. She's a mentor. She's somebody who makes an impact and a difference in people's lives all the time. And the funny thing about it is she is the director of the CEO Academy. And so today she's already being shouted out as one of the senior leaders. So it's even better that she's on here today, because not only that, but you all can get a little glimpse of what she does. And you need to connect to the CEO district and become a part of the academy and our tribe, because she's in a position to help you to grow in so many areas. And if you don't know, it's about personal development, but not just personal development mentally and emotionally and all of that. But then she also has a business, baby, where she get them yoni steamed out, cleaned out, fresh and already, so that you can feel good and embrace that feminine energy that we have. So listen, all across the board, she is doing her thing and I love it. But Illy, if you would, I know I just said all of that very quickly, but share with everybody a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ilyasa Simpson, aka Minister Charge, aka Coach Illy. I have a ministry called the Charge Room where we stop and help people, take them from a space of darkness and help them be where they ought to be. In life, all of us start at a place, but we should not stay at the same place or space. Evolution happens every day. Days open up, new days, new nights, new afternoons. And really, every day, every hour, every reason, and every season, you should be growing too. So the charge room helps you grow. As the director of the academy for the CEO district, we do pretty much the same thing. The academy is here with classes to help everyone grow and evolve into a place where they goal to be. So many times women, they come into business, they start their business, but they don't know how to propel their business to a level of where they would like to be, where they would dream to be. And we have classes that will give you tools and show you how to be all you can be. And not only that, the support that comes with it. A lot of times we're out here, we're doing things by ourselves, and people, mostly our family, and our close friends will not participate and support us the way we think they would, they are watching you. They are not participating. They are not your fan. But the CEO district, we participate and we are your fan. We are your support system. We are your networking system. You don't have to worry about asking anybody to wonder because your wonders are no more. You're going to know. Don't wonder. So the CEO Academy is here to help you as well as the CEO district community. Support is here for women and women in business, women with ideas of businesses. We bring it all together for you at the CEO Academy.
I love it. I love it. And y'all see, she was just so smooth with it. Tawanda says, stop. I was just thinking that today. Lakeisha, hey, thank you so much for joining. The CEO 2.0 is in full effect, and we are going strong beginning next week. So, if you know someone who wants to become part of an organization, a powerhouse group of like minded individuals, then connect with us there. But in the meantime, we want to talk about some things today about just being a woman empowered. And so, I made a post, and Illy said it's one that she has seen before, and it's about shifting. So it says, as you are shifting, you will begin to realize that you are not the same person you used to be. The things you used to tolerate have become intolerable. Where you once remained quiet, you are now speaking your truth. Where you once battled and argued, you are now choosing to remain silent. You are beginning to understand the value of your voice, and there are some situations that no longer deserve your time, energy, or your focus. Illy, let's talk about shifting. Let's talk about coming from that queen space of understanding who we are and knowing that we don't need to get caught up in everything that's going on around us, that we need to shift into that higher version of ourselves or shift into our femininity where we come from a place of strength and power.
Well, I'm going to take it a step back before I go
Okay.
forward. Many times as women, we wear many hats. And
Mm-hmm.
as we wear many hats, we get stuck in a place because we manage our lives to help everyone else. And because we get stuck in a management mode, everything that we want doesn't move. We become stagnated because we want to make sure the kids have, the man has, the parents have, the friends have, the church have, whatever you connected to, you want to make sure everyone has, but you forget about you. So shifting, that's not a thought. You only tend to think about it when something happens to you, when a crisis happen, a traumatic experience happen that will shake you, not
Mm-hmm.
shift you, but shake you up for where you say, wait a minute, I'm helping everybody else, and everybody's giving me they behind the kiss. You poured already from an empty cup, so now your heart feels strained. Now your throat is dry. Now your voice has disappeared, and you have shifted backwards into a still place, and tears are flowing down your face. What do you do then? This is where you must shift. As
Boom.
each day comes, don't take it for granted. Shift. Every day you wake up, don't take it for granted. Shift. Every day you wake up, do not complain. Shift. Every person should move in their life as a shifting experience versus just to say, oh, I did this. How did you do it? Why did you do it? Know and understand your purpose for doing things. Create a plan of action. Put your plan into action. You have to have action to have movement, and movement to have action. It goes hand in hand.
Mm.
They say if you just still, and some people feel that you're supposed to have a plate of a silver platter that serves everything, but if you do nothing, you get nothing. You have to have movement, so you shift. Your life will change when you change, and everything else will form the change around you. But first, everything begins and ends with you. So shifting comes after a crisis or traumatic experience. Shifting comes from the tears falling down your face. Shifting comes from your heartbreaking, your overwhelmness. Shifting comes from your darkness that people stone you alive. That's when the shifting comes. Oh my God, what is going on? I didn't do this to you. Why are you doing this to me? You will see people shift and turn in your life for absolutely no reason. Just
Mm.
because you get up every day and have movement towards helping someone else. Maybe you didn't help them today, but you helped somebody else today. So now they're mad because you're no longer in their box today. Shift for yourself, not for anyone else. But every day you wake up, don't take life for granted. Be purposeful, be productive, be safe. Give yourself permission to feel, deal with the situation, deal with the crisis, deal with the trauma. Don't sit in it because you'll become dark.
Mm.
God is light. God puts light into us. God is in us. He is the light. Understand that you are the light. You are the light that needs to stand and light the way for other people behind you. So don't be afraid to get up and walk into your light because it's there for a reason.
How about him being there for a reason? Then y'all see how Illy just came in and stepped on into that thing. I love it because and let's break some things down because can you shed some light on dealing with continuous trauma? Is a question that somebody had.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Can you shed some light on dealing with continuous trauma?
Okay, how you have to want to break the cycle. Trauma is only continuous because you allow it to continue. If you know what's happening, stop it. A lot of times people are afraid. Like I said, they're afraid to feel what's happening. They're afraid, and I'm gonna give you an example. I was raped at 19. That was a traumatic experience for me. I shut it off and out of my whole system. But I was confronted by my rapist this year. I'm 55. So from 19 to 55, I shut it out and off because that was a traumatic experience I didn't want to deal with. And it continued to stay shut off until I was faced with it again. I became frantic in seconds. But what I did was I had to stand up for my freedom. And I didn't even realize at the time I was locked up. I was mentally locked up. I was mentally in a prison for what traumatically happened to me. And I didn't tell anyone. So when I was faced with the man that hurt me, it triggered the scared girl to stand up for everyone else that would not have the opportunity to stand up for what they went through. So I took it for the team. And when I did it, I was freed. My spirit became free, and I didn't even realize I was in mental bondage. But when I say this, I'm saying I had to go back to apologize to the 19-year-old me that I left standing naked in the middle of the highway by herself in tears. And once I met her and apologized, I had to give myself permission to feel that emotional baggage that I left standing there. And I had to then again forgive myself. So forgive yourself for continuing, stand up against it and stop it and say, no more, not a day more. And every time the situation begins to occur in your mind, you have the power to stop it. You just got to be brave and courageous and say, no more.
I love it. I love it. And Lakeisha, I hope that helped you with what Illy was saying, because I have understood. And she said, yes, thank you, Coach Illy. I understand now. Some people know, maybe not know, but probably within the last, I'm going to say 45 days, I have experienced 3 deaths in my family, and then came back Monday and found out another good friend passed away. Death has been a big thing in my life, and Illy, when we did the first book, I'm a Woman Empowered, my chapter was about grief testing my faith. And I understand, even in looking at this during this time period and talking about shifting, the piece where it says, where you once remained quiet, you are now speaking your truth. What I understood about when my mom died and my sister died, my stepson died, my ex-husband died, a lot of people in our family passing away. I kept quiet and I dealt with my grief in a different way. And what I understood was that I didn't have emotional empowerment. I would choose to bury it, or ignore it, or not say anything about it, or just kind of, me and my daughter were talking, about ways how people deal with situations, traumatic or not, but how you sometimes, some people get up, like, I don't know if y'all have ever remember watching like the Braxtons and stuff, and Tamar, when she gets upset, she'll walk out because she's not going to tolerate it or deal with it. People have different ways. Some people eat, some people work out, people do different things. And a lot of times it's in reactions to dealing with certain things in your life that you don't want to deal with. But at the end of the day, in order to shift, you've got to be able to speak your truth, whatever that looks like for you. And like you said, at 19, you hid it, buried it out. But when you came face to face with that person at 55, now that young girl has an opportunity as the grown woman to face what you've been through, to face the fact that I don't appreciate how you handled me back then, and the things that could have changed you on how you have relationships with other men, how you have relationships with people, that's all changed because of one person's actions.
Right,
But until you can speak that truth, until you can forgive, like you said, go back and extend forgiveness and grace and go back and acknowledge it and talk about it, that's what positions you to become empowered. That's what
right,
positions you to get the shift, so that now you go through that period and now you have an opportunity to grow and be stronger and be wiser, because you can go back and put a voice
clarity.
to all the stuff that you were dealing with. Exactly. Because a lot of times we don't know until things happen. You put some so many things in your past and you kind of bury it and you don't deal with it. And so now you don't even know until something else comes up and triggers it. And now when the trigger comes, now you're trying to figure out, why did I click on them, or why did I go off, or why did I just start crying, or why am I, balled up and I'm depressed and got anxiety because of something that happened that triggered something that you did happen to you years ago that you just pushed back and didn't want to deal with.
Right, right. And it's tough. It's tough. It's not easy. It's uncomfortable. But to be where you want to be, you're gonna go through the difficult, challenging, uncomfortable feelings, and you have to feel your way through that thing. Even if you close your eyes, that's when I always, say, if you believe in God, you call on him because he's going to answer you. He is, all you have to do is tell God your problems and he will set you free. And if you never experience God for yourself, I'm telling you, all you got to do is have a homegirl, homeboy conversation. It doesn't have to be this perfect religious church thing. God is going to talk to you like you talk to him and you talk to your people. You'll be able to hear him. You don't ever feel, because so many, I realize so many people feel like they don't want to talk to God, or that God is gonna burn them down or condemn them because they weren't a good person at one time in their lives. Listen, he forgave you. You gotta forgive yourself. Like,
Mhm.
you just gotta forgive yourself. But when you call on God, I'm gonna say, as he's your homeboy or your homegirl, he's gonna answer you the same way. But I bet you he will help you with all your problems. All your problems.
Yes, that's good. I think that a lot of times, like you say, we want to go and we feel so bad and think God is going to get us like he don't know. He already knew what was going to happen. He already knows where you're at. He's just waiting for you to
To
come
show up.
and show up for yourself so
Yes.
that you can get through that. And I think for a lot of us, we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to deal with, the emotions that come with it. But at the end of the day, in order to get through it, you got to push past where you're at. You got to open up. And a lot of times you feel like, I don't want to talk to such and such because I don't want them to judge me, or I don't want them to, feel some type of way or think I'm weak or whatever. But bottom line, if you take it to God, you don't have to worry about that because he's not judging you. All he
Right.
wants to do is love you through the process to get you from where you are to where you need to be. And is it going to happen overnight? Probably not. It may take some time, but you got to start somewhere. And that is releasing all the emotions that you have that come with something. And it may be that you need to cry. And I'm telling you, I'm one of the people that, girl, I ain't gonna cry. It's just hard for me to cry. And I realized that it's because I built up a wall so hard that, things happen. I'll be like, oh, okay. You just get detached from
Right.
things.
Right.
That's my emotional reaction to things. I
Defense
detach.
mechanism.
It's my defense mechanism. And I had to
Mhm.
realize that's what I do. And so things where other people be crying, I'm just like, girl, nah, I ain't gonna cry. If I cry, it's like, boom, I'm like, let me get myself together. But I had to realize, in talking to a good friend, that crying doesn't make you weak. Crying is a source of strength. It's a source of helping you to process something that was very traumatic to you. And once you release those tears, it can be cleansing. It can give you perspective. It can give you positioning. It
Right.
can give you opportunities to, like you said, forgive. It can put you in places that you didn't realize you were harboring resentment, you were harboring, unforgiveness, you were harboring hate. It's so many things that we hold inside, and we just think it's just that's just how I am. When in actuality, it's because we haven't taken the time to deal with the things we need to deal with to get to a place where we can be at peace, where we can have joy, where we can embrace relationships with people without feeling, that, oh, well, I can't share my whole self with them because I know they out to get me or whatever. You got to be able to go through. So somebody said, yes, detachment is what I do as well, and it's not healthy. And I just had that aha moment. Yes, honey, baby, because I'm the queen of detachment, girl. Look, you can tell me something, I'll be like, mm, mm. And it's like a whole mental separation.
Right. I get it.
But Illy, I want you to talk about, because we've had different conversations when we've been at the CEO district, but for a lot of women, we you and I talked earlier about just the ego and how we allow things to you know keep ourselves from experiencing greatness and goodness and all of those things because of the ego. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yes. I'm I'm a person, like, I operate in love. I believe That's like my foundation. My heart and my mind, my soul, I like to operate in the spirit of love. And with that, you have to love yourself first. If you don't love yourself first, you won't have good relationships with yourself or other people. And with loving yourself first, you begin to discover yourself. And most times people love out of ego because because we don't love ourselves first, we love, quote unquote, love others, but we put conditions on loving others. We put conditions on the person. We become possessive, we become controlling, and we catch attitudes when things don't happen the way we want it to happen. And most times we blame the other person. You didn't do this. I said to do that. This is what I want. And you become angry. You blame them, but you're not blaming yourself for loving with an ego. So if you love spiritually, there's a freedom in a spiritual walk. If
Mhm.
you walk with yourself in a spiritual manner, you feel free with inside of yourself. Because we operate in ego, we do it to ourselves. How do we look? Is my hair right? I'm not going here. I don't have the right thing to wear. I don't want nobody to see me like this. I'm not talking to them. They did stuff to me. That's all operating out of ego. And it gets real messy. People are messy with
Mhm.
themselves and they don't realize it. But if you take yourself on a spiritual journey, you will realize you have been hurting yourself your whole life and not being
Mm.
free. Free of your mind, free of your body, free of your spirit. I even speak of how women mishandle their bodies and allow men or whoever you love mishandle you. And because it's the norm, and no one is not taught that this is inappropriate or not mentally healthy for you, because your family on one side of the tracks will say you have to marry in honor of your family, and they'll put you in an area where this is the type of person you must be with, but you're giving your body to this person. And then on a lower social economic scale, you better go out there and get you somebody, and so you can take care of your family. They're making you use your body and a way to financially gain. So you're not getting the real sense of loving yourself because you had to already give yourself in a manner one that is uncomfortable. Because it's like, how many times you had sex with somebody that you really didn't want to have sex with because he said so when he wanted to? Did you want to have sex at that moment? We operate where we treat ourselves where we don't have a choice because we still operate in our ego. That's not a
That's
spiritually free moment.
it's not.
So many times women, we are not taught that you don't have to have sex with anybody that you don't want to. They People make us do that. Girl, you better go get him. He's cute. He got money. You see what he got? You better go get that.
Or
How we
girl,
get
if
in?
you don't give it up, somebody else will.
Right. And
It,
we're not using our brains.
mhm.
We're using our bodies. So we think it's okay. It's not okay. So now we get to a place in life like, okay, our body ain't like it was before because my waist is not a 24 anymore. I got bags underneath my eyes now. How I'm gonna keep or even get them in? your mind, your personality, your character, your wit. We don't even know what we have because we too busy operating from between our legs. We don't even know who we
Really?
are.
Come
So it's
on.
the point of operating in a spiritual realm to learn who you are, appreciate who you are, value who you are. Because, baby, sex is different when you value yourself.
Oh, girl, and say it again. Sex is what?
Sex is different when you value yourself. Baby, it come with a cost. It ain't $2 with the bamboo earrings, at least two pair. It's not the Reeboks in all the colors. No, it's not the Gucci bag. It's not, oh, I'm going out for this seafood dinner. It's you are worth more than that. And if you don't,
Mm-hmm.
if because you operate that way, people are going to connect with you. That needs to stop because
That
we are putting trauma on our own minds, trauma on our own body. And then when they go out and cheating, because we don't put everything out, you didn't put nothing out.
mm.
He going to do that because that's how you treat yourself. So he going to treat yourself like that too.
But it's so powerful, Illy, when you're saying that. And I know for a lot of women, you think about as young girls. It's so many times as young women. I had a conversation with a lady Monday, when we were talking about our young girls and how for so many young girls, you don't have a sense of belonging. And so the first person that comes and tells you, oh, girl, I'll shout it, you look good. You need to let me get that. Or, make you feel like, oh, well, I'm gonna take you out, or I'm gonna show you some things or whatever, and you gravitate towards that because you don't have anyone who speaks life to you. You think about people who get into gangs, they do that because they feel that they're looking for a connection. And so when you don't have
Mhm.
a connection, you tend to feel like the only thing that I'm valuable in is if I'm with somebody and I give my body. So that's how you equate your value. But
Right.
in actuality, if we were to switch that thing around and stop trying to tell these girls, well, oh, girl, and he finna be a football star, he finna be a rap star. You better go on and do this, that, and the third, so you can get him and solidify your future. But if you do that and you're miserable, who have you really benefited? You've done
Right.
yourself a disservice, but you came from a space of not knowing any better because nobody told you any better. But then at the same time, when you get in that position, not valuing yourself better, so that you have a situation that you're not happy in, or being with people who don't love you. Because y'all think about it, when we talk about unconditional love, do you really ever know that you experience unconditional love from somebody?
Because we don't love ourselves. We don't.
Unconditional,
Right.
unconditional, we don't. Not even for ourselves. You can look at yourself and be like, "Oh, girl, I done got too big," or "I don't like this," or we're extremely critical of ourselves. And if you can't love yourself and embrace everything about you, or even forgive yourself for making stupid decisions, because guess what? We all have done that. We all have
Period.
done some things, point blank, period. But we got to move past that. We're not perfect. We're never going to be perfect. You got to understand sometimes you make decisions that don't serve you, but that doesn't mean that that's the end of the road and there's nothing else out there for you just because you made some bad decisions when you were 21 or 32 or in some cases 45 or 60. People still make bad decisions,
That's right.
but
That's
life
right.
still is out there for us to learn and do better and be good to ourselves and extend some grace to ourselves and enjoy who we are and understand that just because I'm 55 don't mean that if I'm single I'm never going to get somebody because all the young girls got it sold up. Shouldn't think like that.
Baby, these 55s, because we 55, we gets better than a 25, baby.
And
Yes.
you gotta believe your in yourself. You gotta know what you bring to the table. And a lot of times we don't even think about those things because we're so busy critiquing ourselves. We're so busy comparing ourselves to somebody else. And when you're looking at social media, what you think everybody's doing, baby, they're not really doing that. It may look good. They're not really living like that. They're not really, or if they're living large, they don't have peace. Because why do you think that is? you think people commit suicide who are multimillionaires? They don't have joy. They don't have peace. They don't have genuine relationships. They don't have people that they can go to and talk to and embrace them and love them for who they are if they don't do anything else.
Right. Right.
And that's a
Totally
sad place
correct.
to be.
Very sad. Very sad place to be. There's so many people walking around here with a sad spirit and smile, trying to smile. And it's a really sad place. So that's why I always promote, learn who you are, become with peace with who you are, identify what you don't like about yourself, and write it down. And then you take one at a time and change it because you can. Be the change. Don't talk about it. Don't complain about it. Be the change. Because once you change, everything around you will change. We do not have the power to change others, but we definitely have the power to change ourselves.
Come on, Illy. Yes, definitely have the power to change yourself. Definitely have the opportunity to start shifting. That can happen at any time. And like Illy said earlier, a lot of times the shift comes because something has happened, whether it is experiencing death or loss of, in a relationship or financial issues. Things happen that cause you to start thinking, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Or, I realize now that this is not how I want to be. So let me start doing better. Let me start taking care of my body because I've had some kind of illness. And now I realize that I don't want to be old and broke down. I want to be healthy. So let me start eating better. Whatever the thing is that causes you to shift, you've got to embrace it and then realize that you deserve to be happy. You deserve to have joy and peace. You deserve to come from a space that is light. Everything in your life shouldn't be heavy and depressing and overwhelming and stressful and traumatic and dramatic.
Right.
That's too much. It's too much.
Yes. Absolutely, yes.
So, Ellie, let's talk about the divine line, baby.
Well, let me tell you about that divine line. That I created a statement to unhook your bra. And with unhooking your bra, you are creating a line of divide to separate you from the outside world that has influence over you to become overwhelmed, depressed, and just not who you should be. Separating yourself to discover who you are, separating yourself to find your value, find your worth. Um, to in place. Women, especially single women, we operate in a place of masculinity because we have so many roles in life. Um, Even married women, you have a lot of roles in your life. The modern woman today is not the woman of yesterday where every woman stayed home because their husband was the breadwinner. That is no more in the average household. Everyone is up with activities of the daily routines. So we come through taking charge because we have to, not because we want to, because we have to. And that creates a realm of masculine energy. So, with that, we don't know how to stop and give our own self flowers. We don't know how to stop and make sure our skin is beautiful. We don't know how to stop and drink water or exercise or take time out to get your nails or your feet done or your hair done. We don't stop to do those things. That's masculine energy. Feminine energy is stopping to smell the roses, put on a candle, take a shower, take a bath for more than 5 minutes. Make sure you have a space of peace that you can come to every single day to collect yourself, to transition from your masculine to your feminine energy. So every woman wears a bra that I know. Every woman wears a bra. So I use that as a great trigger point to show you this, to consciously shift. That's where the shift comes in, from your masculine energy to your feminine energy, and allow yourself the permission to we don't allow ourselves to have patience with ourselves. And if you make this a priority in your life, and I started with yoni steaming, if because if you're so busy, at least use 20 minutes a week to not only shift yourself from masculine to feminine energy, but also to detox your vaginal tract, to bring peace and tranquility to your spirit. Um, there's so many times, and again, because women misuse their vagina and mishandle their vagina, yoni steaming brings peace back to your vagina. It pulls away the negative out of the vagina and fills it with herbs that help trigger a better aura that you carry with yourself. So
Mm.
I've been doing yoni steaming for 2 years now. And when I say, I promise you, it changed my life. I was going through menopause horrendously, and I was at the mercy of night sweats, day sweats, thinking about sweats. And it was just a horrible experience. But when I started yoni steaming, my aura changed, my sweats minimized or and then stopped. I had such a pleasantness about myself, and the mood swings went away. And
Wow.
it's the worst thing to have a mood swing where you really want to hurt somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah. For
it,
real.
it's
For
definitely
real.
something. Feminine energy is a powerful place to be, because it again is, you're walking with that spiritual realm within yourself to help you be a better individual.
Boom. When I tell you guys, that right there was really powerful. And I hope people, if you don't get it, go back and listen to this again, because this is the thing. Um, Hey, Kelly. Hey, Bowens. Thank you for coming and tuning in. And Tawanda says, I'm going to get one on my self care list. Yes, reach out to Illy, and she has everything, Tawanda, that you need to embrace that with the Yoni steam and everything. Amazing products and things that will help you. But I want to go back to what you said, because TD Jakes has really been out in the forefront here recently, talking about the masculine energy that women have, and why it's like that. And I love how you said that as women we're out wearing multiple hats, and sometimes you got to go out here and you got to make it happen, and you got to get in, you got to show up certain ways to what we feel like get our respect, or to make things happen, or if it's going to get done, I've got to be the one to do it. That does not stop you from switching over and embracing your femininity when you get home, and can become that person who is calm, who's peaceful, who
Yes.
is in a space of peace. And what I realized as you were talking, Illy, is the things that we don't do for ourselves that would really embrace and bring that aura into our presence. Because, I think, like, girl, that I wear contacts, and I'm so quick to sleep in my contacts, girl, and don't think about it. And for me, if I'm waking up and my eyes are gritty, and I'm, always rubbing, and I'm always feeling like they're dry, but it's because I don't take care of that. So to me, that's a lack of me embracing my feminine energy because I should always want everything about me to be in a state of peace and calmness, nothing to be irritated, nothing to be, um, causing me any kind of problems or pressure. And the fact that I know that I'm going to have problems when I wake up, but I still will sleep in them anyway, that's a problem, which means to me that I'm not in tune like I need to be.
It's
Same,
neglect.
it's
It's
neglect.
neglect.
It's neglect. And for a lot of women, I say that for context, but you think about it, it's women out here when we talk about dry skin, bad, your feet are all jacked up. When you talk about, no hydration, when you talk about sometimes, even eating things that we know causes us problems later on. Some women, have gluten issues or things, but we say we like it and we go ahead and do it, even if it means that we're going to suffer later on with some type of gastrointestinal things or some type of acid reflux. We still do these
Right.
things, and we don't realize that that's not us tapping into the true feminine aura that we have that should position us to be at peace, to be relaxed, especially in your own space. Inside your home, that should be your sanctuary. That should be where you can sit back, like Elias say, and unhook your bra and hey, relax. It should be a place where you don't have to be stressed. You don't have to experience anxiety. You don't have to have any depression. It should be your safe place. But because we don't switch over from the masculine energy to embrace the feminine energy, we don't get to experience all of that goodness.
This is true. This is so true. And the thing about it, women are extremely, they've done it so much that they're conditioned to stay locked into that hard place. And as much as we want to be loved, I don't care who you are, every woman wants to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
And men always talk about us, the angry black woman, um, where, but it's because we're stuck in that hard masculine place and we don't know how to give ourselves permission to
Mm,
feel. We don't take time to make time for ourselves. So
that part.
you can complain all day. Oh, it's the man, the man, the man. But you have to take accountability of your behavior, of your thinking, of your movements, your actions, your thoughts, the negative self talk that we give ourselves.
Yes,
We destroy ourselves with our own mouths
we do.
on ourselves. We
Mm-hmm.
will stand in a mirror and tear ourselves apart. That is negative self talk. And we demolish our whole everything, like straight for annihilation. Like, stop and think about what you're doing. Just
Mm,
say, I want to shift. You got to get tired of being tired, but take accountability of your thoughts. Take
mm,
accountability of what's coming out your mouth. Take accountability is how you are going to make change. Most times we're not thinking about changing because we too busy complaining. We too busy comparing. You don't have to. Everyone is born with their own speciality. Everyone. Everyone. God gave us all
mm-hmm.
gifts. And just because you may be a different size, your size may be fitted for you for a particular reason. You
Yes.
don't know what that is, but you better go find it. Stop looking in everybody else's backyard and look in your own and make it work. Make
Make
lemonade out of lemons.
Yes, I love that. I love
Right.
that.
Make the lemonade out of your lemons. You sour, don't be sour. Put some honey in it.
Mm-hmm.
Put some spearmint in it. Put some pineapples in it.
Come
I
on,
bet
pineapple.
you it tastes different.
Come on.
Yes,
Just
that part.
something simple. It's something simple.
Something simple.
And I'm gonna go back to what you said that I think for women that we don't think about. In that what I read earlier about shifting, it says when you where you once battled and argued, you are now choosing to remain silent. See, sometimes we feel like we got to have that last word or somebody say something, oh, who you talking to? Who she talking to? She can't be talking to me. You want to pop off and snap, crackle, and pop with any and everybody because you feel like somebody has challenged you. When you are really secure with who you are,
You don't have to respond.
you don't have to respond, baby. Sometimes you can get people so much better, not by calling them out and calling them bees and all these things, not by clowning and cussing and going off. Sometimes the most powerful position is the silent position. The one that says, baby, I already know who I am, and I really don't even have to entertain what you're talking about. I don't even really have to go there with you. Because if somebody's gonna be looking like a fool, it will not be me. So I'm just gonna step back and let you use all that negativity that you have. But that's not a reflection of me. It's not a space that I care to get into because where I'm at, I'm all about embracing love and peace and happiness. As you get older, you start realizing that it doesn't take all that.
Yes.
Now I can be calm. I just want it to be calm in my environment. I just want to be able to sit back and relax and chill and just enjoy who I am, regardless of anything else that's going on around me or outside of me.
And that's all
What have
about
anything to do
adding
with
value. That's all about adding value to your life, to your
Mhm.
space, to your mindset, changing your mindset. Be- because the older you get, if you realize we have more years behind us than we have in
Yes.
front of us.
Yes.
So take these days and value them. Put yourself as a priority and make sure that you are shifting your masculine energy into feminine energy. Test some things out to see what you like. There's so many women out here that doesn't even know the difference from penetration to an orgasm. You don't even know what turn you're on, but you want somebody else to do it for you. So it's just so many things you have to stop and ask yourself, who are you really? And what do you really want? And
Mm.
then what is your expectation from other for other people? But again, it goes back to that ego. Why are you putting conditions on other people when you're not even putting conditions on yourself?
Wow. And be your choices. You know, I think sometimes we have that a fear of missing out. And so
Huh.
you go do things that you don't want to do because you don't want to miss out. You don't want to be left behind. But when you get security in who you are, when you embrace that feminine energy and realize that, hey, today may not be the day that I want to go and do that. And it's okay that I miss out. Y'all go ahead and have a good time. I've got something else. I just want to be in my own house. I may not be doing anything. I might just be listening to music, sipping on me some pineapple tea, whatever
Huh.
that looks like for me, and be okay with that. Because a lot of times we allow people to push us and pull us places that we don't even really want to go.
That part. That part. Learn to say no and be okay with it.
Say no and be okay because it's okay. And trust and believe that if you got people in your life who can't accept that, maybe those are not the people that you need to have in your life. And
Right.
it's okay. Because sometimes people are for seasons, not lifetimes. And sometimes we try to force lifetime people into lifetime positions that it was only meant to be temporary.
Temporary.
And you can say goodbye and say goodbye with a smile. I don't wish you bad. I wish you well. I hope you have success and peace and love and happiness. But I'm going to do it from a distance.
Yes.
And it's okay.
And it's okay.
I love the conversation. I love the conversation. Thank you all for tuning in. Illy, thank you so much for coming to the Woman Empowered Wednesday, dropping some gems. The best one, of course, is knowing who you are and putting yourself first and embracing everything about you.
Yes.
Not to compare, not to compete, but just to exist and understand that any day can be your last day.
Right.
So why run around here like a chicken with your head cut off when you can just sit back, chill, relax, and enjoy the life that you have? And if you
Yeah.
don't like it, you are in a position to change it. Start figuring out what it is about you that makes you feel because what you say, Illy, all the time, confidence breeds sexiness.
Yes.
Find out what makes you confident so that you can feel sexy and embrace that feminine energy so that you come from a place that really is empowered.
Right.
It really shifts the whole thing and it puts you in a position of empowerment where now you can be in control and make decisions and choices that work for you and not somebody else.
That's right.
Illy, please let them know how they can get in contact with you, how they can get their yoni steamed, and some products that will help them to, start feeling good about themselves from the inside out.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I have a Instagram page, so follow me on Instagram. The company is called Royal Splendor Yoni Garden LLC on Instagram. That's at Royal Splendor Yoni Garden LLC on Instagram. You can connect with me on Facebook at Yasa Simpson. I also have a website, Royal Splendor yonigarden.com. I'm going to drop it into the feed of this particular broadcast so you can click on it and follow me or go onto my website. And I have all things um, in house for your yoni steaming because it's private. It's make it intimate. You don't have to go out to a spa. My whole purpose of when we was on COVID, you bring your experience to you, and it's also again transitioning you from your masculine to your feminine energy. And I also provide yoni steam spa parties. I do from 6 to 20 women. I have also a link that explains the whole spa experience. I do not reuse the products, the products or the equipment that goes to you personally. I give everyone brand new tools and equipment. I definitely don't reuse it because that's something personal. But I do spa parties, and I also have spa online products for you to use at home. So follow me on Instagram, and I'm gonna send out all the links onto this feed for this particular episode.
Honey, Miss Marshall Weeks has already put in your different things on here on how they can reach you on Facebook, IG, and the site. So thank you,
Thank
Marshall,
you,
for being in the
Marshall.
background, doing your thing. We appreciate it. Y'all connect with Ilyasa. I'm telling you, embracing and connecting with that feminine side of you, being able to shift from the masculine energy that sometimes we have to have, into the feminine piece. Once you get into your own sanctuary, your own place of peace, it should be something that makes you feel like a whole nother person. It should make you feel like I don't have to be rushed. I don't have to be hurried. And every experience I have within my four walls is an experience that I enjoy.
That's right.
That's right. That's that queen stuff right there. If you didn't know, that's that queen stuff right there. So Ilyas, again, thank you so much. And shout out to Michelle Clark again. She was supposed to be the special guest for today, was unable to make it. So of course, keep her lifted up, and we will definitely get with her to reschedule. But I superly appreciate Ilyasa for standing in the gap. Y'all know God always have a ram in the bush, baby, and he did for
Yes.
me today. So Illy, thank you for being here and sharing your wisdom and your queen isms so that people can get themselves together and find that space of peace that we all need. So again, make sure you follow her. Is in the comments how you can get in contact with her and create your own experience. I'm telling you, it's worth it. All right, y'all enjoy the rest of your day and thank you for tuning in to Woman Empowered Wednesday. Be blessed.